What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, the Hero Kid TG6, here with the top 8 finisher at Minnesota Regionals, Fletcher. Technically, he was the only undefeated person, so he did get first place, but since there's no first place in the top 8 at Regionals, so he got top 8. So here's his deck profile. Mermails or mono Mermails?
It's mono Mermail. I don't play Undine or anything.
Okay, so
yeah.
Deck profile.
Okay, so for the most part, it's really standard. I play 3 divas. It's always a really good card to have. You can pull up OTKs and stuff. Oh yeah, turn around, that makes sense. 3 diva. And then I play 2 infantry. A lot of people only play 1, but I feel like 2 is better because I was kind of scared of like evil swarms and stuff, and that's obviously really good. You can pitch it with pike, and they can't even use anything because it's after the damage calculation, so they can't respond to it at all. 3 marksmen, that's like a staple. Destroys sets when you discard it with Megalo, or just search it off Diva, getting some direct hits with it and getting a lot of damage. 3 Dragoons, like, you always want to draw this card. It's like the best card in the deck to draw because it searches almost everything else. 3 Lind, another, like, staple card, search it off Spear and special anything for your deck. It's just huge plus. 3 Pike, like, some people would argue playing 2, but, like, I played it at 2 for a little bit, and I always, like, would run out of them in the deck, and I always wanted to search it off of a Lind, and I wouldn't have one to search, and it would be terrible. I only play 1 gun, because it can be dead early if you don't have anything in your grave to special off of it, and I cut the second one the day before the regional for the 2nd infantry, because I thought that would be better. 1 Abyssdine. This card gets you a free rank 3 Exceed, which for me, like for against evil swarms, you can just special it off of a Lind, special the Lind back, and then overlay into tempo, and then that gets rid of their Ophion, so you can, or gets rid of the last material in the Ophion anyway, so you can special your level 7s and then go off from there, and you don't really care about the Ophion anymore.
Makes sense.
3 Tias, staple card. I mean, it's just a straight +1 when you summon it, discarding anything that triggers in the grave. I mean, you just get it on the field for free, make Big Eye or Gaios, search out a Lind, and just get huge plays set up first turn. It's just an amazing card. And then I only play 2 Megalo, which is probably the weirdest thing in my deck. Part of the reason is because I only have 2, and obviously it's a really expensive card.
Oh, sure.
But the other thing is that I feel like it actually makes it more consistent to only play 2 Megalos, because when you draw multiple Megalos, you end up just discarding one of the Megalos for the other Megalo, and that discarding Megalo doesn't get you anything. So I mean, like, it's certainly not bad to play 3 at all. I'm not going to just be like, oh, playing 2 is way better, but I don't think it really hurt me at all. Like, the deck's still plenty consistent. And then 1 Lead, because it's just a huge beater, and his effect to tribute a Mermail is amazing, and I used it a ton of times throughout the day. Just pitching a card from their hand, like, because Tias and Pike, if you use their effect, they're just a floater, and they're just sitting on the field for nothing. So you just get rid of them for lead and get yourself a +1 by getting rid of a card in their hand. And I played against Dark World, and I used his effect, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't discarding a card from their hand, like, oh my god, what am I doing? And then I reread it and it would send, so that makes it even better. 3 Space, obvious, back row hate. There's just so many back row cards right now, you know, chain it to Tenki, chain it to my opponent's Spear, or whatever. It's just too good. And then, yeah, I suppose I'll just move monsters aside and then start putting spells. Staple spells, Dark Hole, Avarice, Salvage, Mind Control, Reborn, and Heavy. The only one of these that I would consider taking out is Pot of Avarice, because it can be slow in the early game, but like, when I played it, it was just such a good top deck in the late game and everything that it's just worth main decking. And then it's an easy side out when you have more effective cards to side in for it. For traps, I play 2 Compulse, Squall, and 3 Spear. I feel like Squall and Spear are pretty obvious picks at this point. Like, you could definitely go without the Squall, because again, it can be dead early, and it can clog your hand and give you some bad first turn hands, but it's really easy to fill your grave really quickly. Like, if you have 1 Tias, that fills your grave, because you search out the Lind, and then the Lind will special something from your deck as well, and that makes it easy. Compulse is the weird pick here.
Yeah. If you're playing Avarice and what's the other
Avarice
one?
And Salvage? Or
Salvage.
what?
Why not play Rolling Glacier?
It clogs a lot more than Salvage or Avarice, because you need to get exactly 5 in your grave, so it's dead a lot more easily, or it'll become dead more easily than Avarice will, because you can get 5 monsters in, like, using your extra deck cards, and most of your extra deck cards aren't waters, so it's like, it's way easier to fill with 5, like, random cards for Avarice than it is to fill for Moving Glacia. And I mean, it just adds another card that'll be dead early. Like if you open a hand something like Avarice, Salvage, Squall, Looming Glacier, like that's just terrible. You're not going to get anything going unless you open to draw a Sphere or a Lin.
For sure.
But I mean,
Okay. Let's see the side and extra.
yeah. But the main reason for Compulse,
Yeah.
the thing about this deck is that game one is just you want to try to win as fast as possible. Like this deck is the fastest deck in the format. So by playing Compulse, you can just bounce a monster in the field and just OTK them. And it's also really good in the Evil Storm matchup because you can Compulse their Ophion in response to the summon and they can't get the search if they don't start with the thing. So.
Yeah, sure.
I made that last minute call as well, like the day before the regional. I played it over Mirror Force.
Double Mirror Force or just one?
I had double Mirror Force and then I changed it to Compulse because Mirror Force is a slightly slower card. Like Compulse, you can use it whenever it's changeable and stuff.
Yeah.
You want me to go extra deck or side deck first?
Extra.
Extra. All right. All right. So Armory Arm makes plays. I think I only made it like once. There was one time where I should have made it, but I misplayed and didn't make it. It was a bad situation. But Librarian, I don't think I actually made that at all. But, I mean, it gets over Catasper, which is a huge deal because this deck has a hard time dealing with that. Catasper, I made that a bunch. It's really good. Duloran, I love this card. Using it with Sphere gives you so many pluses. I mean, on your own turn, if you can summon this, like if you have a leftover Pike from last turn, or if you special Dragoons off of a Marksman, like a really easy play is you can just summon Diva, search the Marksman, attack with Marksman, special Dragoons, sync for Duloran with Diva, and then bounce the Marksman back to your hand, and it's just, you know, you just free Duloran.
Yeah.
Goongear, also amazing, you know, triggers all the Atlanteans and everything, and gets rid of problem cards. I didn't play Black Rose, because the extra deck got a lot tighter since I'm playing 10 tempo.
Yeah.
But I decided to play the one level 8, and I never actually wanted to make a level 8 throughout the entire day, so that was unnecessary. Gotchi, I made that a couple times, and it actually was pretty good. 10 tempo, I actually didn't end up playing against Evil Storms after preparing like quite a bit for them, just in case.
You didn't play not one?
I didn't play any Evil Storms throughout the day.
Oh, shit.
I felt like my matchup wasn't that bad against them anyway, though, but, I mean, it was still, I don't know, kind of lucky. Zen Mains, this card put in a ton of work. I destroyed, like, at least 5 D-Fissure macros throughout the day with him. I don't know, it's just so good. Leviathan, I only made this once, and I detached the Marksman to destroy their set Fossil Dino, so it was definitely a good thing to make it. Trite, and then Bahamut. That's just such a good combo. I did that, you know, 4 or 5 times, and I don't think I lost a single game where I pulled it off. Dweller, amazing in the Mirror and Dark Worlds, and, you know, these both trigger Dragoons, which is just amazing. Big Eye and 1 Gaios. I never actually ended up beating the second Gaios, so I can...
So you
I don't think
made...
there's any reason to play two.
Which one do you prefer?
Big Eye or
Big
Gaios.
Eye,
It completely depends on the situation. You absolutely need both of them to play the deck. Because, like, they fill completely different roles, and depending on what they have on field, you'll need different ones. Like, if they have nothing on field, obviously you make Gaios, and then, you know, against, like, Fire Fist, and you get their Bear, you get their Specters, and you get anything, and then it's just... Even in the Mirror, it's pretty good as well. Against stuff like Karakuris, they can't attack at all, because all they make is level 7 and 8 synchros. And then I look at Gor's tokens.
Okay.
Go Hun, Gor.
Go on.
Okay. Side deck. 2 Snowmanators. Sided in against Fire Fist, Dino-fist, Dino Rabbit, and Heroes. I destroyed a Banisher with it, which is obviously amazing. 2 Trags. Sided against fast decks. I like these go together. The Trags and Maxi.
Obviously. I always prefer, like, you play Maxi, you gotta play at least a Gorz or something.
You can't play Maxi without something to draw into, otherwise they'll just go off and they don't care. And then I also played 3 Maxis and the Gorz as well.
Oh.
During the day I regretted playing the 3rd Maxi. I never actually sided in 3 of them. And I only played 1 Mirror, which was weird. So in that 1 Mirror, like during the Mirror, I didn't just like, I only want to side 2 of these. I don't know why I even sided all 3. I don't want to hold them in. And then Gorz, I didn't even side in the Mirror because it's not that good because they just make Big Eye main phase 2 and can't even attack. Or I mean, not Big Eye Gaios. So yeah, but the Trag put in work in the Mirror because it let me make a Dweller, which is, you know, like game breaking. 3 Dust Tornado. I feel like every Mermail side needs to play 3 of those. Like, some people argue Twister over it. I don't like Twister because it's not generic back removal, so it only gets rid of their face-ups, you know, their macros, defissures, and soul drains. But Like
More
again,
versatile.
yeah. Oh, and you can also, I guess you can change either of them to Tenki, but this
Yeah.
card, I played so many Fire Fist, Dino-fist, and Dino-rabbit decks. That was by far the most common deck, I think, at the tournament. And then 2 Mirror Force, 2 Torrential. This card, it's just amazing, and a lot of people like side out heavy game 2 against Mermail, because the space is generally more effective because you can change it to the spear, and you don't just want to randomly heavy.
That's true.
But then when I put in all this back row, like these are just power cards. Like you draw these and they just put in so much work. Like I mirror forced 3 of their monsters one time and it was just game. Like they were playing Dino Rabbit and they read it as a spear, but it was a mirror force.
Would you change anything in the side deck?
Yes. That's why the Maxi, I'm taking out the Maxi and the Gores. I'm not a big fan of the Gores. I put it against Dino Rabbit and I actually summoned it, but it died to Fossil Dino. And then I would never side in the 3rd Maxi either. I'm replacing them with either I'm kind of torn between Soul Takers, D-Prisons, Breakthrough, and Fiendish.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna replace them with 1 Breakthrough and 1 Fiendish because I think that's the best one right now. Like it works against Fire Fist, works against Evil Swarm. Fiendish Chain is amazing against Evil Swarm because they use Pandemic and it only gets rid of it for 1 turn and then it reapplies. So I mean, yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, let's go through your matches quickly and then pick one or a few matches that were either very easy or very challenging.
Okay. All right. So round 1, I wrote down every match I played and kept track of life points and everything. Round 1, I played against Pipers, which was really weird. And I 2-0'd them.
What's his name? Jake?
His name was Jake. Yeah, he's from
Dreamers.
Yeah. So I recognized him as yeah, I've seen you before. The game 2 is really funny because he left a Spear Reaper in attack mode and he's trying to go in for damage and I OTK'd him over the Reaper.
Oh.
I just attacked it 7 times or whatever. Round 2, Dino-fist. This is another 2-0. I don't remember this one that much. The guy was really nice. Or wait, no, maybe it wasn't 2-0. No, this is 2-1.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah,
2-1.
I lost game 2. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, okay. But he just had an overpowering field game, too. And I made a misplay where I thought I had a Pike left in my deck, and I was going to make a Bahamut Shark, but I don't think it would have made a difference. Round 3, pure Dino Rabbit. Let's see, I think this might have been, I don't know. Yeah, so I won 2-0. Or no, I didn't win 2-0. God damn, this is confusing. I'm not reading this very clearly. Yeah, I
2-1. You won the first one, lost the second one, and won the third.
I'm not reading it carefully enough. I can't read upside down for crap.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so this one was a 2-0. This was against, this was pure Fire Fist. Let's see. 2-1, I won against, did I even write this one down? Oh, this is Dark World. Yeah, this is against Dark World. Game 2, he opened and he just did a ton of shit like Dark World does. He discarded 3 snow. He used all 3 of his gates on his first turn.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I won the die roll for this one. That was key for winning the first game.
Did he go deck dev at all?
Yeah, he played deck dev game 1, but I had salvage in hand, so I just got back 2 of the monsters that he deck dev'd, and I was totally fine. Let's see, what was this again? Insectors. Yeah. He didn't play a single Insector monster throughout the entire match.
Wow.
He played Tour Guide in all 3 games, but it just wasn't enough.
Bad hands.
Yeah. Game 1, he made Lovable Chain, and I just chained Compulse to the summon of it, so he couldn't get Hornet and Grey or anything. I think he had them in hand sometimes, but summoning them wouldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was 2-1. Round 7. Mermail. Yeah, so this is the only mirror I played throughout the whole day. And he was playing the Undine engine, which I don't like the Undine engine because the controllers are just so dead. It just doesn't work out that well. Apparently I wrote a novel on here.
Don't you feel it'd be a little better going against Evil Swarms?
It definitely helps the Evil Swarm matchup, but I think with how my deck is right now anyway, I have enough outs to Ophion as is. Because I can, I also sided Snowman Eaters against Evil Swarms. And obviously they can use dress during the damage step against Snowman Eater. But the key thing is that a lot of people don't even realize is you can't use dress if you discard infantry off of Pike.
Yeah.
After special summoning it, because the effect of Lind activates after the damage calculation is over, but still during the damage step. And so Pike will activate during that time period as well. So the only thing they can activate in response to that are trigger effects and counter traps. Or so they can no longer use dress because it changes attack, but it's after damage calculation, so you can't use it. So they can't do anything against that. And then obviously the Tempo thing with Abyssine as well.
Yeah.
Round 8. Was this against Fire Fist? Dino-fist, I think. Yeah, this is against Dino-fist. Game 1, he opened Rabbit Tour Guide. So I mean, he made turn 1. He knew I was playing Mermail because we sat next to each other the round before. I mean, at this point, everyone's playing each other in like the top 4 tables. And so he made Dolka first turn instead of logging. So he was playing Mermail. So it's just, he got all of his negates off, and it's just ridiculous. But then I ripped heavy game 2 for game, and I know I ripped heavy game 3 as well. So he was really salty about that, and I mean, I can't blame him. I mean, getting heavy 2 games in a row is dumb.
So let's talk about the loss. How did you lose?
In game 1, or wait, what?
No, the top 8.
Oh, in top 8. Well, I have one more match. This is against my friend Nick. Because like we were both the only 2 people undefeated going to the last round.
Yeah.
And so like he was playing Dino-fist, and I loaned him like a lot of cards for his deck. Like his, I don't know. I won't go over like his full story for the day, but his side deck was just complete shit. He decided to play Dino-fist 5 minutes before the tournament started, and I loaned him 3 Guivas for it. And he got super drunk the night before, and it was ridiculous. He didn't play Mermails until the last round. He didn't have any D-fissures sided at all. Because he just didn't have time to make his side deck. It was just a terrible side deck. It was ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, so then top 8, yeah, so I went undefeated in Swiss, but then in top 8 we went to the store for that. And it was just one match for top 8.
Yeah.
So the winner of that match got a deck box as well, and then the loser still got the match, and that was it. So I played against Heroes, and game 1, he opened double Thunder King, so he went first. He summoned Thunder King in turn 1, and I had a really slow hand. I didn't have Lind or Spear or anything, because like those are easy outs for Thunder King, so I can just cast the lead off of them and attack over it. But yeah, I just couldn't get rid of his Thunder Kings, and I had a Pike in hand, which I couldn't even activate his effect by summoning, because Thunder King's out. And then I also had Tias, and couldn't use Tias' effect to search for Lind because of Thunder King, and he just.
What kind of heroes was it?
It was he ran 2 Bubble Man and a Gawain, I think, but it was mostly hero because I think he played 3 Sparks as well.
Okay.
And then Alias, and then he obviously made the Thunder King, so it was more of a beat variant, but it was like kind of halfway between.
Okay.
He sided into double macro, double D-fissure, double Soul Drain. So after the match, he was just like, I really hate Mermail, and it was like clearly like his side deck was just loaded for it. And I won game 2 again only because I pulled Rift Heavy off the top deck. So I mean, like I definitely got lucky a lot of times the other day. There's no way I can deny it. But like part of winning a regional is like you need to be somewhat skillful, but like there's a lot of luck involved as well. It needs to be your day. And game 3, I lost. Why did I lose? Oh, he just like I spaced his D fissure, and I was like, oh, I can go off now. And he activated macro after the space resolved. Like, and I had like. I thought everything was done resolving, so I already just started his Dragoons to summon my Tias. And then he's just like, no, after the chain resolves, I want to activate this macro. Like, and he was probably going to activate it anyway, but I don't know why he wouldn't just chain it to the space. So that was weird. So yeah, I lost that. Now, it was unfortunate, but I mean, like, I did so well the rest of it that I don't even care that much.
All right. Is there anything special you want to say?
Yeah, there's one play I wanted to talk about. In round 8, the guy I played against was my friend Nick played him around before, and I didn't think he was that good, honestly. But like when he had Dolka out, I think I don't remember if it was game 1 or game 3. He made Dolka game 3 as well turn 1 because he opened Rabbits first.
Okay.
But I summoned my Tias discarding a Dragoons. And he's just like, oh, negate the Dragoons with my Dolka, and I'm just like, wait, so is the summon of Tias successful? And he's just like, yeah, it is, I'm going to negate Dragoons. And I was like, no, you can't, because Dragoons is Chainlink 1, Tias is Chainlink 2, you can only get Dolka on as Chainlink 3 after that. Yeah. And it didn't end up mattering at all, like, I searched for it, but he just, he had tour guide as well that game, and, so he tour guided, since he's playing Dino-fist, he tour guided into the Gene Warps and made it Tiger King. But he had Tanky and Tensu, so he searched out the bear and summoned the bear that same turn, and then just, got way too much advantage for me to deal with. Yeah, but I don't know, I just thought that was, clearly he didn't know how that worked with the whole Dolka thing, and I was like, wow, okay. You're not that good. Yeah.
Alright, guys.
So, yeah.
Thanks for the deck profile. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Go Zook out.